Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, this is EAJ-Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Escow.
Jeff
Doing my time. Doing my time. Got myself a problem.
from San Diego. It's Sports World Radio. You've never heard a sports show like this. Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, blow me.
You got it.
Holy fucking shit.
What in the hell is your major malfunction?
Can't believe that goddamn son of a bitch did that fucking crap.
Don't give me any of your shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Those are your hosts, Jeff Ascow and Sean Mann. Remember, those who can't play sports, talk about it. These two tell it like it is. Tune into Sports World Radio for the fastest hour of sports of your life. So here they are, the douchebags of sports themselves, Jeff Ascow and Sean Mann.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to Sports World Radio. I am your host, Jeff Ascow. We got a jam-packed show like we do each and every day here on Sports World Radio. A lot of fun. We're going to have so much fun. We got a special guest coming in the second hour of the show. Normally he comes in on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Hint. But he's coming in today because I had internet trouble yesterday. That's why there was no show. We are back better than ever today. Glad to be back with all of you. Let's get all the particulars out of the way first. We'll do that, and then we'll get on with the show. SportsWorldRadio.com is the place to listen to the show. Now, if you're listening to us over at Sports World Radio, and you just want to happen to come over and hang out in the chat room, you don't have to. You can hang right there in Sports World Radio. But if you want to hang out in the chat room and listen from Sports World Radio, this is what you can do. Head on over to Spreaker.com. Get yourself a free account at Spreaker.com. They're free. Type in Sports World Radio. Will show up at the bottom of the screen. Just take your mouse and hit the bubble all the way on the right side. It's the first icon you'll see. Click the bubble. The chat room will open up, and you can still listen to us from Sports World Radio and start chatting away with us. Now, if you're over at Sports World Radio, there's a donate button over there. Click that donate button and donate to the cause and help Sports World Radio keep on doing what we like to do, and that's entertain you with sports talks for 2 hours every day, Monday through Friday. That's what we like to do here, so keep donating to the cause so we can keep doing what we like to do here at Sports World Radio. 619-663-3715, 619-663-3715 is the number here to get in touch with us here at Sports World Radio. You can also, if you have Skype us at Sports World Radio Show. That's Sports World Radio on Skype. You could Skype us and get in touch with get in touch with us and get into the conversation with us here at Sports World Radio. swrshow@gmail.com. That's swrshow@gmail.com is the email address to get in touch with us here at Sports World Radio. Head on over to Facebook and like our Facebook page at facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. That's facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. And while you're doing that, you might as well head on over to Twitter and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. Now, with all the particulars out of the way, what do you say, hey, we bring in that co-host of ours, Sean Mann. Oh, man, I almost screwed that whole thing up. Big time, didn't I? Josh Lopez is the co-host of Sports World Radio. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, Jeff? How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. Big happy Friday to everybody. Welcome to Sports World Radio. Right now, it's 5:07 here in the Central. That would make it 6:07 in the East and 3:07 out in the West. Weather right now, there's a lot of snow out here in Chicago. I can say that.
That's what you get for living where you live.
It's turned from the windy city to the blizzard city.
That's what you get for living where you live. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
I love it out here.
I'm doing pretty good, Jeff. Rocking and rolling, ready to have another good show as we close off a week. Also, for our good friends here for Sports World Radio, if you like what you're listening to, you can follow us here as well on Spreaker. We're almost to 200 followers on Sports World Radio.
Oh, we really?
Yeah, 194.
See, I don't even pay attention to that. Follow us here on Spreaker.com, Sports World Radio, Spreaker.com. Just follow us. Follow us everywhere on Sports World. We're out there. If you type in Sports World Radio, all one word, I guarantee you'll find us. Be glad you don't live in the UK where you freeze your nuts off on a good day. Big boss out there. I guess the big boss lives out there in the UK. Well, then
Welcome
I'm about
to Sports World Radio, Big Boss.
Well, then I'm about to piss off the big boss, ain't I?
Yep.
Because Big Boss, I live in sunny San Diego, and I just turned the air conditioner off before we went on the air.
Jeff got it easy.
Yeah, it's a beautiful 85 degrees out here in sunny San Diego, man. You gotta love it. I wake up to that every day. It's gorgeous, man. How can you not be happy waking up to the sun every single day? Come on, you gotta love it.
Everybody's not fortunate to live out in California, so.
Well, that's why I live where I live, and that's why you live, and that's why you don't.
Chicago over San Diego any day.
No. San Diego over Chicago any day. I never freeze my nuts off. Yes, man. It is.
So let's start off with the show. We started off with college basketball on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. We were talking about Syracuse and the fact they're not going to be in the playoffs this year. We'll move to the NFL. It was announced today that the Seattle Seahawks linebacker Bruce Irvin was fined $10,000 for sparkling the scuffle at the end of the Super Bowl. Now, here's the thing, Jeff. Obviously, there was 4 players that were involved in that particular brawl. Bruce Irvin got fined $10,000. Michael Bennett and Rob Gronkowski got fined $8,500. And then Doug Baldwin got fined the most out of everybody, $11,000 for his touchdown celebration.
So the guys who got into the fight got fined less than the guy who celebrated his touchdown, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Nope.
That just proves to you and to me and to everybody else listening to the show how much the NFL is screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They fined a guy for celebrating a touchdown more than they fine guys for fighting. What does that say to you? Fighting is okay, go ahead. You can't score a touchdown and celebrate, but you can go ahead and fight.
I'm just surprised that fight didn't happen right after that interception happened, because who knows, man? Maybe that fight could have led to Seattle getting the ball back, especially with all those flags that were thrown out there.
Hey, Big Boss, yeah, that's San Diego's where they hold the big Comic-Con. You're correct. And $11,000, what is that? These guys a week's interest payment? Yeah, but still, the guy gets fined $11,000 for celebrating a touchdown, and the other 2 guys get fined less than that, and they were fighting?
Yeah, Rob Gronkowski punched Michael Bennett in the face. He only got fined $8,000.
He should have been thrown out of the game.
Both of them should have been ejected.
Exactly. Bennett got ejected, right?
No, I think the only one that got ejected was Irvin.
Irvin got, okay. I knew somebody got ejected. Yeah, I saw Gronkowski throw a punch. I was like, all right, he's out of here. And they didn't throw him out. I was like, what? What? You throw a punch, you're gone, right?
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Come on now. The guy celebrates a touchdown, gets fined more. I find that incredibly stupid.
There's been more crazy outside the news for the NFL. Here's for Dallas Cowboys. You remember Joseph Randle, right?
Yes.
The guy who shoplifted for cologne and underwear a couple of months ago?
Uh-huh.
So this time he got arrested, I think it was on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, for marijuana possession and also attempt at domestic violence.
All right. I don't mean about the domestic violence part of it. Okay?
Yeah.
That's sad. That's not right. But he got busted for marijuana. Way to go. See, one of these days, you're not going to hear them being busted for marijuana because it ain't going to matter.
Stay off the weed. No, that's what Stephen A says. But yeah, it's
is that what he said? Is that what he said today?
Can't catch a break, man. There's always something going on.
Sean,
with the people.
Josh.
Yeah.
Is that what Stephen A said today?
Yeah, he was
stay
mad
off
about
the
all
weed.
These players throwing their life away for a golden opportunity to play in the NFL because all they worry about is drinking liquor and smoking weed.
Is that what he said though? Stay off the weed.
Yeah, stay off the weed.
Unbelievable. He just signed a multi-freaking-year deal with ESPN.
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith.
Congrats. Making the big bucks. freaking hump.
Yeah, I know, right?
I guess we could move forward to some baseball. Rob Manfred, the new baseball commissioner, was on Carmen and Yurko yesterday. In the interview, he said that he would advise Hall of Fame voters to not surmise that certain players use performance-enhancing drugs unless there is credible evidence. So there's been a big debate about who should be in the Hall of Fame, from suspicion of certain players not making the Hall of Fame for supposed drug use, like Mike Piazza or Jeff Bagwell. I want to get your thoughts on that, Jeff.
On what?
Commissioner Rob Manfred saying that he would advise Hall of Fame voters to not surmise that certain players use performance-enhancing drugs unless there's credible evidence.
I don't get that at all.
No?
No, I don't get that. I don't get that at all. What's up with that?
Well, it said that in the Q&A he had with a group of people from ESPN, Manfred didn't name players such as Jeff Bagwell and Mike Piazza, who are Hall of Fame candidates, and they have been hurt because some voters have connected them with PED use despite a lack of definite proof. However, he said that he made it clear he does not believe that voters should withhold votes from players who meet their description.
Doesn't matter what he says. He doesn't get the vote no more, or he doesn't get the vote, so he can't dictate how other people vote. So he could just sit there and be quiet. He could say whatever he wants, but it's not going to matter because the voters are going to still vote the way they want anyway. You know that. Come on, you know that. So what he's saying really doesn't matter because they're going to vote the way they want to vote anyway. You know that.
Yeah. It's just crazy. I mean, what constitutes anybody getting the Hall of Fame these days? I mean, you could go for wrestling, and they say that people can't go in because of murder or the lady was in porn. You go to sports because supposed rumors about guys using PEDs, even though there's no evidence. What really constitutes anybody being in any Hall of Fame now?
Nothing anymore. The Hall of Fame is all watered down now.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't mean as much as it used to mean back in the day.
Yeah, let alone the whole Pete Rose issue.
Yeah, let alone that, but still, it doesn't really matter because it's all watered down now.
Mm-hmm.
Because they got people in the Hall of Fame that I don't think deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. So in certain sports Hall of Fames.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's all watered down. So it doesn't matter. I might as well let everybody in. They're going to let certain people in. I might as well let everybody else in. How do they allow Arvinas Sabonis to be in the Hall of Fame? Seriously. Come on.
Venus.
Come on.
What about the Godfather?
How do they let Zarvina Zabona in the freaking game, in the Hall of Fame? Seriously. Come on. What contribution he made to the NBA? Seriously.
Yeah. Big Boss in the chat room, the WWE Hall of Fame is pretty easy to get unless they killed their family or been in porn because WWE's PG. I mean, regardless if they're PG or not, it's the fact that they're a publicly traded company, and that's when you have those outside the ring issues, it's going to mess up credibility issues. Well, wrestling's never had a good credibility to anybody.
Not to change the subject, Josh.
I don't think a rating of a TV show has to do with somebody being in a Hall of Fame.
Not to change the subject, Josh.
Go ahead.
But getting into the Hall of Fame in the WWE is fairly easy. I mean, come on.
No, I'm saying it's easy, but he's saying that unless somebody got killed or in porn because WWE PG, I don't think that's a fair excuse. It shouldn't matter what television rating a show is, and it's a Hall of Fame story. Well, not a Raw or SmackDown.
Okay.
So what does WWE PG have to do with the Hall of Fame?
Okay, well, the second half of that statement, hey, Dr. Myth, welcome back. The second half of that statement there, the porn because, is directed directly at China. You know that.
Yeah.
As well as I do. And I know you. You watched the interview Monday night with Triple H and Stone Cold, and I know you probably watched it more than once.
Yep.
Right?
I did a lot of studying.
Right? So,
yep.
And he mentioned that, correct? Without kind of mentioning it, he said it, correct?
Yeah.
So there it is, right there, coming from a top dog at the WWE.
But do you think we should do character assessments on everybody that's been on the Hall of Fame, Jeff? I think I know there's people that are in the Hall of Fame that done worse thing that China has.
What's worse than what China's done? Getting arrested for a DUI?
Where do I even start, man? I mean, Hogan and Warrior spawning off the whole steroid thing that almost brought the WWF out of business for the whole government issue.
Yeah, but it didn't.
I'm just saying, I don't think a rating of a TV show should have to do with anything about a Hall of Fame.
Oh, I kind of get Triple H's thing because you bring in her and kids find out that she was a porn actress, they might go and try and watch it.
It's a double-edged sword.
Correct. So I understand where he's coming from with it. You know what I mean? Jeff,
Dr.
I know,
what's
I'm
going
seeing
on,
it.
Dr. Myth?
Dr. Myth says, Jeff, what is worse than China doing porn is Benoit killing his wife and son. I get it.
Yep.
I get it. I understand it. And he kind of mentioned both of those things in the interview, right?
He didn't mention about Benoit, but he did talk about China.
Yeah, but you can kind of feel him talking about, he didn't mention China's name and he didn't mention Benoit's name.
But it's kind of like an indirect way, like where you type up about these legends or whatever, then you find out what their past is. So I understand that point of view. To me, it's an apples and oranges thing. Like I said, my point is you shouldn't have to worry about a TV rating show for a Hall of Fame consideration. That's just my point.
No, I agree with you on there. I agree with you on that. But if you're going to allow Arnold Schwarzenegger into the Hall of Fame, you're pretty much going to allow anybody in there.
Well, he's in the celebrity wing. I mean, Drew Carey made one appearance at the Royal Rumble. He's in the Hall of Fame. So Pete Rose is in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Well, Pete Rose deserves to be in the WWE Hall of Fame, okay? Because he got his ass beat by
Kane.
freaking Kane many of times.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So he deserves to be in the Hall. I don't think whatchamacallit deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. What's his face? Jerry Springer?
Jerry Springer is not in the Hall of Fame.
He's going to be. You know that.
I think eventually. But you should look at the WWE program during the Attitude Era. That was spawned off the Jerry Springer show. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, Bob Uecker's in the Hall of Fame, but, I mean, we could have this argument about celebrity people being in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Forever.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you can argue
we don't have
about
any
it
control
forever.
over it anyway.
No, you can argue about it forever.
Yeah. Let's move to the NBA. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said he's open to revamping the current playoff structure by eliminating conference seeding and instead going with the league's 16 best teams.
Say that again?
NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said he's open to revamping the current playoff structure by eliminating conference seeding and instead going with the league's 16 best teams.
That's not a bad idea.
You like that?
Yeah, because you know what's going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what's going to happen, right? There's going to be 11 teams from the West and 5 from the East. So that's what's going to happen.
No, 12 from the West, 4 from the East.
Am I right?
One winner for each division from the East, and then everybody else from the West.
That's what's going to happen. Every team in the West is going to make the playoffs.
Yep.
Correct?
Yes.
Because the East sucks. And he's got to realize that, correct?
Yeah.
So if he makes this move, doesn't matter East or West, East is going to lose teams.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean,
there's a lot of talk about restructuring and a lot of
I think they should
playoffs. Is there one playoff system in any of the sports that you do like?
Oh, well, I'm glad that the NBA moved it back to 1-1-1. You know? That I'm happy about. I've been bitching about that for years. So I'm happy about that. Big time happy about that. I just worry that if they make this top make a top 16 teams, that you're going to end up with more teams from the West making it than you are from the East.
Yeah.
And that's not good for the NBA. That's not good for the NBA because, believe it or not, the NBA is an East Coast league. Believe it or not, it's an East Coast league. Because when you go and see what time a game is on TV, what do they tell you? It's 8 o'clock Eastern, correct?
Yeah.
They don't give a crap about the people in the Central, the Midwest, the Mountain, or the Pacific. They say it's 8 o'clock Eastern. That's it.
Do you think with this new change that they're going to get rid of the divisions? Like, I know there's like divisions in hockey, but they have like a whole seeding with points or whatever. It's like, I don't know, I'm kind of mixed as far as the point of having divisions. I think it's kind of like an added bonus or whatever. But, because like you have like people that have better records than teams that won certain divisions. Let's say like in the NFL, obviously there's people that have better records from the NFC West than people in the NFC South. So I'm kind of like mixed up with that.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right now, if the playoffs would start today, there'd be 10 teams in the West making it.
Yeah, you're right, man. I think the whole West would be dominating the playoffs.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the seedings. It'd be 10 teams in the West.
Yep.
How crazy. And you want to know something?
What's up?
If the playoffs would end right now, and they did it with this format, the whole Southwest Division would make it. Memphis, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, and New Orleans. All of them would make it if they did it this way right now.
That's nuts.
Okay? How crazy is that?
That is crazy.
You got 1, 2, 3, 4, all 5 of those teams there. Okay? Golden State is 6. The Clippers is 7.
Yeah.
Right? Portland is 8. Oklahoma City is 9. Phoenix is 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's 10 teams just right off the top of my head right there. In the East, you got Washington and Atlanta.
Yeah.
You got Chicago and Cleveland, and you got Toronto. That's 5.
Jeff, would you be open to like any of the like switching some teams from the West to the East and then East to the West to like balance out the competition, or you like it as it is?
Well, I see personally, I don't think that Washington should be in the Southeast Division.
I agree.
Okay, they should not be in the Southeast Division. But what are you going to do with them? You can't stick them in the Central, and the Atlantic Eastern's already got 5 teams.
Why is it called Southwest or Atlantic East? Why can't it be East, Central, North, or whatever?
Why can't it be just I don't know why it just see Atlantic, the Atlantic East is for all the teams in the metropolitan area, which is New York, Philadelphia, Boston, and Brooklyn, and then they threw Toronto in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Central sits fine with me. Cleveland, Chicago, Milwaukee, Detroit, and Indiana. I'm fine with that. That's a perfect Central. What I'm not fine with is Washington being with Atlanta, Charlotte, Miami, and Orlando. Washington.
Would you be opposed to moving New Orleans from the West to the East and then moving Washington to the West?
If you move then you know what? You need to put another team in the league.
Yeah, I agree.
Because then the only division, then the East Atlantic could have 6 teams. Yeah. Everybody else would have 5. So that's why it's set the way it is right now. You know, they can't move nothing around.
I think it's an interesting conversation to have right now, especially with the fact that we're doing our NBA elimination game today. I guess we're almost close with almost eliminating all the teams we need, right?
Yeah, we're pretty close. There are several teams that don't have a mark at all. And that includes Golden State Warriors, and that includes the Chicago Bulls. Those are the only 2 teams with no marks whatsoever. The teams that are left, as well as the Bulls and the Warriors, are the Wizards, the Hawks, the Trailblazers, the Pelicans,
the
Clippers, and that's it. Those are the only teams left. The Bulls, the Wizards, the Hawks, the Blazers, the Pelicans, the Clippers, and the Warriors. Oh, and the San Antonio Spurs. I'm sorry. Those are the only teams that are left.
Quick, before we hit our first update, Jeff, who you got winning tonight, Golden State or Atlanta?
That's a nice matchup. That's a matchup of two brilliant teams right there. Atlanta's 41-9, and Golden State's 39-8.
Mm-hmm.
Where's this game at? In Atlanta?
Yeah, it's in Atlanta.
Well, the way Stephen Curry's been playing, I don't know.
This could be a really good game. I think this could be a great chance to show everybody that Atlanta is for real. I'm just surprised that this game's not on ESPN.
Golden State's on a 3-game winning streak. Atlanta just lost the game, so they're coming off a loss.
Yep.
The game is at home. Golden State averages 111.4 points a game, and Atlanta allows 103. Okay.
Both teams like to shoot the three.
Both teams like to shoot the tree. Yeah, I'm looking at a lot of things here. Atlanta's 24-3 at home. Golden State is 16-6 on the road.
Yep.
See what I'm looking at? I'm looking, man. I'm looking. They're 23-2 at home, Golden State, but they're not at home.
I'm going to go with Atlanta at home. I think they have a good chance to give Klay Thompson and Steph Curry a little bit of issues with their perimeter defense, and I think Atlanta will pick up a victory at home.
Okay, see, Atlanta allows 96.5 points a game.
Yep.
And Golden State scores 111 points a game. And they allow 99.8, and Atlanta scores 103. So what does that say? That says that both defenses are pretty damn good, huh?
Yeah, man.
That's what that says, right? I mean, Atlanta allows 96.5, and Golden State allows 99.8.
It's kind of rare that you see a matchup like this during the regular season. I mean, sometimes regular season games are just regular season games. They don't really mean much, but I'm really looking forward to this game. I don't know why this game's not on ESPN.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Is this a future to the finals matchup?
I would hold off that right now. I just don't see it. I don't see the Hawks in the finals.
If this is a finals matchup, will you watch this?
Yeah, because it's something different, and I don't have to see LeBron James in the NBA Finals.
I bet you their ratings would suck.
Yeah. I'd rather enjoy the series than worry about ratings.
And on that note, we're going to run to our first break. You're listening to Jeff Escow and Josh Lopez on. Huh? No update. First break, man.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, we got an update right now.
No update.
Updates. Oh, my bad. 5:45. My bad.
Update's not for another 15 minutes. What are you doing? Just let me direct the show and you just kick back and relax.
Mm-hmm.
You're listening to Jeff Escow and Josh Lopez on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Stay fire safe this winter. Turn portable heaters off when you go to bed or leave the room. Keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet away. Plug portable heaters directly into wall outlets. Inspect and replace damaged cords, broken outlets, or loose connections. Use portable heaters with an automatic shutoff so that if they tip over, they turn off. Only use portable heaters approved by a recognized testing laboratory. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
To Sports World Radio. Sean Mann is not here no more. We now have Josh Lopez hanging out with me from now on. He's the new co-host of Sports World Radio with Jeff Escal. That's the way it's going to be. If you don't like it, don't listen. Right there, buddy?
Yeah, exactly. And I guess it's a good time to start off the Skippy Bayless Bash Shower, shall we?
I do believe so. I guess it's time for Skippy installment of the day.
Yes, sir. Skippy Bayless said that my Atlanta Hawks will beat my Golden State Warriors tonight.
Boy, he claims a lot of basketball teams, doesn't he?
Yes.
He claims an awful lot of basketball teams, doesn't he? I mean, an awful lot.
And he wants Charles Barkley to coach all the teams.
All of them. I mean, he's claiming the New York Knicks. He's claiming the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's claiming the San Antonio Spurs. He's claiming the Atlanta Hawks. He's claiming the Golden State Warriors. You are such a bandwagon fan. It's ridiculous, my friend. Jesus criminy.
It's ridiculous, man. I'm just glad he doesn't root for the Bulls.
Every time you bring up the Skippy segment, I end up smoking a cigarette because this guy aggravates me so much. Thank you.
I know, man. Skippy Bayless said that Rob Gronkowski shouldn't get fined for that fight at the end of the Super Bowl.
I agree. He should get fined more.
No, he said he shouldn't have got fined.
Why? He threw a punch. He
said Rob Gronkowski was defending himself.
By throwing a punch?
Man, that's Skip Bayless.
He was defending himself by throwing a punch. Hey, Skip, the last time I saw somebody defend themselves, they put their arms up to block the guy's punch from coming in and hitting their face. That's defending themselves. Throwing a punch at somebody is not defending themselves, especially in a football game.
Skippy Bayless said that he's looking forward to the three-point contest at the NBA All-Star Weekend in Brooklyn.
Why? Who's shooting in it?
Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, J.J. Redick. There's a lot of good three-point shooters in this three-point contest.
You know who I want to see shoot in it?
Who?
Who could probably still kick their ass? All of them.
Who?
Steve Kerr.
That'd be pretty cool.
I want to see him shooting it because you know damn well he could still shoot the three.
I wonder why they never have any retro
old timers
competitions.
Old timer 3-point competition.
Yeah.
Right? Come on, we're gonna come up with a new segment for the NBA hook. Old timer 3-point competition.
Tony Kukoc.
Yeah. Or how about this? An old timers game of horse.
Ooh.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that.
You like that? An old timers game of horse. You get 4 old timers and you just play a quick game of horse.
Peja Stojakovic, you remember him? From the Sacramento Kings?
Uh-huh.
Peja Stojakovic.
Yeah. I mean that would be pretty awesome. You get your game of horse, you get Magic Johnson, you can get Michael Jordan, you can get Isaiah Thomas, and you grab some other schmuck. Right? And you play a game of horse. Now you're telling me nobody would pay to see that?
I would pay to see that.
Exactly. Why do I have to innovate for you, NBA?
Hey, copyright that, Jeff.
If they come up with it, I'm going to kill them. If they do that, I'm going to tell them the idea was heard here first on February 6, 2015 at 3:38 p.m. on the West Coast.
On Sports World Radio.
That's right. I would like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to, you know what? I would like to see Larry, you know what? You put Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Isaiah Thomas. Blammo, slammo, dammo. There's your game of horse. How great would that be?
That'd be pretty interesting.
How great would that be?
Yeah.
You know?
Would you just rather have the game of horse, or would you like to see a retro dunk contest?
No, I'd like to see those guys in a game of horse, right? And then I'd like to see a retro three-pointing competition. You get Steve Kerr, you get Larry Bird, right?
Yeah.
You get some other old guys that can still shoot it, because you know there are some old guys that can still shoot the rock. You know that,
yeah.
Right? And you get 4 of them in there, and you do a retro three-point competition. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
See?
I dig that, Jeff. That's a really good idea.
I should be the NBA commissioner.
Hey, man.
Or at least the assistant to the NBA commissioner.
I'll vote for you for that.
Or at least the assistant to the NBA commissioner.
True. Or a consultant.
See, I'm thinking outside the box.
Yep.
Doesn't baseball do that? They have an old-timers game, right?
Yeah.
Hockey doesn't do it, right? Or do they?
I don't think they do.
Wrestling does it all the time.
Yes.
Right?
Let's get back to the Skippy quotes. Skippy Bayless said he did not appreciate the call the woman referee made in the Clippers-Cavaliers game last night.
What call? That she tried to slow the game down a little bit?
Yep.
So what? Tough. She's the referee. Tough.
Oh,
The comment that Chris Paul made was uncalled for. And I don't think he would have made that comment to a male referee.
Yep.
So he should be getting fined and or suspended.
Skippy Bayless said that he thinks that having the All-Star game in San Diego is a mistake because it's not big of a market for an All-Star game.
Oh, suck my ass. You know how excited these people are here in San Diego? That's all anybody's talking about here in San Diego. Okay? That's all anybody's saying. It's so over a year away, and they're talking about it already.
Mm-hmm.
Hello? Have you ever... hey, Skip. Have you ever been to Petco Park? That's my question. Have you ever been to a baseball game at Petco Park? I'll tell you what, Skip. Come to either opening day at Petco Park or come to the first Dodger game at Petco Park. I dare you. Because you go to a first Dodger-San Diego game, you probably won't get out alive. Because it's all Dodgers. Dodger fans. It's packed.
You see the comment Dr. Myth made. He said the guy making a comment about the female ref slowing the game down should go against the real women's wrestler and see how fast he runs out.
Well, that was Chris Paul that made that comment. So Chris Paul would look like a midget against any female wrestler.
True.
Right?
Can you picture him against China?
Oof.
Oh, boy.
Oh. Yeah. Hey, whatever happened, I'm going to ask you a wrestling question really quick.
Go ahead.
They brought in that King Kong woman, WWE, long time ago, and then she got pregnant and left.
Awesome Kong.
Yeah, is she ever coming back?
From what I see right now, she's going to be in TNA. She just returned a few weeks ago. Actually, TNA's on tonight, Jeff. They got TNA Lockdown. She's going to be taking on one of their new stars, Havoc. So I think she's going to be in TNA for a while. I'm happy that she's actually wrestling on TV, but I think it's a crock that she's not in the WWE.
That's on a channel I don't get.
Destination America?
Yeah, Destination America. What the hell is that?
It's one of the Discovery sister channels.
Yeah, but where the hell is it?
I don't know, man.
I don't get that channel on my TV. I haven't even found it on my cable channel inside the house yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
speaking of wrestling, Skippy Bayless said that Roman Reigns should not be in any of the main events of WrestleMania.
I know. What's up with that?
He says that why try to make a new star when you have these guys that are already established and that bring brand revenue or brand awareness towards WrestleMania.
Because I hate to tell you something, douchebag, and you don't know this. We're going to end up losing Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
Okay, he's going to leave, which is okay with me because I can't stand the prick to begin with. Okay, which is okay with me. So then you're going to need somebody. Okay? You're going to need somebody, and I don't know if it's Roman Reigns. It's probably more likely it's Daniel Bryan than it's Roman Reigns. But listen, what Brock Lesnar did to John Cena, he's going to toss around freaking Daniel Bryan like a rag.
Yeah, he's going to be flying into the 5th row or something.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Bryan has no chance of beating Brock Lesnar.
Would you buy into Daniel Bryan either A, beat Brock Lesnar by a running knee, or B, him making Brock Lesnar tap out?
Correct, and I don't see either of those two things happening, because I don't see Brock Lesnar getting, I don't see Daniel Bryan getting any chance to really do any harm to that guy.
Well, we got the Fastlane pay-per-view coming up in a couple weeks. We'll talk about that.
That guy's an animal. That guy's a freaking animal. He plays that part very well.
Yeah.
You know, he's a freaking animal, and if they keep playing that like that until he leaves, he'll have the belt till WrestleMania, and then they'll either stick Daniel Bryan or they'll give it to Roman Reigns. Whoever goes to WrestleMania, you know, is going to win because Brock's leaving.
One more thing before we head into the update, Jeff. There's been a lot of people complaining or saying that Roman Reigns should turn heel for anybody to give two hoots about the match between him and Brock Lesnar. Do you think Roman Reigns should be a heel, or you're fine where he is right now?
He's got to stay a babyface.
I agree.
Because they don't have many baby faces.
Yeah, they got way too many heels right now.
They got way too many heels right now. They really only have one major baby face. And that's
True.
John Cena.
But at the same time, they have a lot of heels, but at the same time, there's not a lot of effective heels that stand out. So I guess it's like I think, okay, maybe I'm flipping through the channel and I'm turning on wrestling, and all I'm seeing is all the bad guys winning or this or that. I wouldn't know if I was a casual viewer if I wanted to see that.
True.
That's
Hey,
my point of view.
Let's run to our first update of the day. This update is brought to you by the Flipper. Are you guys tired of touching your toilet seat to lift it and lower it? Well, you don't have to do that no more. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your Flipper today, and never, ever touch your toilet seat to lift it up or lift it down. Get your Flipper today at flipperflipper.com. Take it away, Josh Lopez, with the first update of the day.
Thank you, Jeff. Welcome, everybody, to Sports World Radio for our first of two updates. If you're a big fan of the NBA, this is a night for you. We got the New York Knicks taking on the Brooklyn Nets. We got the Cleveland Cavaliers at the Indiana Pacers. LA Lakers are taking on the Orlando Magic in a rematch of the 2009 NBA Finals. We got a big matchup here between the Los Angeles Clippers at the Toronto Raptors. The big game tonight, the Golden State Warriors at the Atlanta Hawks. Philadelphia 76ers at Boston. Denver at Detroit. Milwaukee at Houston. Memphis at Minnesota. Pelicans against Thunder. Jazz against Suns. And then finally, Miami against San Antonio. Moving towards the NHL, there's 5 games tonight. We got the Toronto Maple Leafs at the New Jersey Devils. We got the Anaheim Ducks at the Washington Capitals. The St. Louis Blues at the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Chicago Blackhawks at the Winnipeg Jets. And the Pittsburgh Penguins at the Calgary Flames. This has been your Sports World Radio update brought to you by the Flipper. Go to flipperflipper.com. We'll be right back with more Skippy Bayless with Jeff Escal and Josh Lopez. You're listening to Sports World Radio.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Josh Lopez, Jeff Escal bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. See how that's how they do it in London, right, Dr. Myth? They start out really high, and then they get down to that low point. That's pretty crazy out there in London how they do it. They go SportsWorldRadio.com.
With the tea and the pinky hanging out?
The tea and the pinky. Is that how you drink tea, Dr. Myth, with your pinky hanging out? How about you, big boss? You Londonites, you? What else has Skippy said?
Skippy Bayless said that the Chicago Cubs are wasting their money on these free agent names and that they will not make the playoffs next year.
I hope they do, just so I can rub it in his face.
Skip Bayless said that Chicago sports teams are going to be in a long drought, and it's going to be another 10 or 20 years before any of the teams win another championship, which I find kind of strange because the Hawks have won 2 Stanley Cup championships over the last 5 years. Yeah, I know the Bears haven't won anything in 30 years, but I think we're going to be an upswing here in Chicago. I think it's going to become to a time where the city of Chicago is going to be dominating sports.
You think so?
I think it's only a matter of time. I mean, yeah, we had the Bulls dynasty in the 90s, but, some of these states always had like an era where all the teams were winning championships at the same time. Chicago never really had that.
True.
I mean, how many times have we seen New York era teams winning? I mean, the Yankees, the Giants, etc.
Yeah, I get sick and tired of that crap.
Mm-hmm. Skippy Bayless said that he would win a presidential debate.
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't even win a debate against me, let alone a presidential debate. Okay?
Oh,
listen,
man. I got to get Frank's thoughts about that.
Listen, he doesn't want to go up against me, let alone a presidential debate.
Would you vote for him, Jeff?
I would never vote for him.
I wonder who his vice president would be. Jerry Jones or something?
I would never vote for him.
Yeah. Skippy Bayless said that the Dallas Cowboys will, without a shadow of a doubt, break all the records in the NFL next year.
No, come on. What the hell's the matter with you? That's ridiculous.
Hey, man, he said that everybody was doubting the Cowboys, that they wouldn't make the playoffs. They made it to the playoffs. This time he thinks not only are they going to win the Super Bowl, Jeff, but he also says that
they're going to go
Dallas
undefeated.
Cowboys will go undefeated.
Well, that's not going to happen. Put your money where your mouth is, and I don't want no money from you. Let's just make a bet. If the Dallas Cowboys don't go undefeated and don't win a Super Bowl, I get to sit in you for the whole rest of the season of your show.
Yep. Oh, what's going on, Shaba?
Shaba in the house?
Yep.
Shaba.
He's going to like this one. Skippy Bayless said that the New Orleans Saints made a mistake getting rid of Ryan Pace. Ryan Pace is the new general manager of the Chicago Bears.
No kidding.
Yep. I like the guy. I mean, I'm not trying to be biased or whatever, but the hiring he's been making as far as the coaching staff is concerned has been great.
Yeah, it's been really good.
Mm-hmm.
Been very interesting, too.
Yeah. Skippy Bayless said that the New York Knicks should have nobody competing in any All-Star competitions next week.
He's kind of true, but you know damn well Carmelo Anthony is going to be there representing the Knicks.
Skippy Bayless said that there's a good chance that this Cleveland Cavaliers team could break the Los Angeles Lakers' 33 consecutive winning streak.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Really? I don't believe that. I don't believe that one stinking bit. Not one stinking bit.
They are on a roll right now, Jeff. ESPN's been really on the bandwagon saying that the Cavs are back, and now they are the favorites to win the East.
Yeah, and then what's going to happen when they lose 6-7 in a row? Huh?
Yeah, they're going to say, "Oh, David Blatt needs to be fired."
How many games have they won in a row?
12.
12 in a row they've won?
Yeah.
Cleveland?
Yeah.
Are on a 12-game winning streak?
Yeah, they're taking on Indiana tonight.
Well, there's number 13 for you right there. Right?
The game's it's in Indiana. You think there's a chance they'll lose that game?
Who, Cleveland?
Yeah.
No, come on. No.
Yeah, Indiana. Really disappointing team. I feel bad for them with the whole Paul George thing. That whole injury thing he had in the USA games, that was pretty nasty.
They haven't been the same since. They have not been the same team at all, Indiana, since that happened. Not one stinking bit.
Skippy Bayless said that the Atlanta Hawks will not be the number one seed in the playoffs.
Well, right now they're sitting at 41-9. 41-9. And your team, Cavaliers, are at 31-20. So Atlanta is in first place by a mile. By a mile. Right?
Skippy Bayless said that Charles Barkley should be the coach for the Orlando Magic.
Now he's got him coaching the Magic.
Yeah, you heard about the Magic firing the coach, right?
They fired Vaughn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they got him coaching the Magic.
Hey, he's probably coaching all the Miami, Florida teams.
He's got him coaching almost every basketball team there is.
Charles Barkley coaching tour.
It's ridiculous, man.
What's going on, you big win?
Big gale force wind is coming on Freaky Frankie Friday. He loves saying that, man.
Yeah.
He typed that to me on Skype like 600 times.
Big fan of The Simpsons, and always cool to have another Chicago friend here on the show.
Yeah, I'm getting ganged up on Chicago's, man. I'm being ganged up by the Chicagoans. That's not fair.
Skip Bayless said that the Chicago Bears will not win another Super Bowl unless they find another Mike Ditka. Which I don't agree with because it's two different eras, and honestly, even if Mike Ditka was coaching today, I don't think he would win the championship right now. It's a new era in the NFL and it's a new game, so I wouldn't know how his whole I'm a tough guy persona is going to work with them winning championships.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You don't know? Skippy Bayless said a couple more things before we head off to the top of the hour break. Skippy Bayless said that LeBron James has more natural skill than Michael Jordan.
It's a different era.
Yep.
It's a way different era. Okay, the guys weren't, back when Michael played, the guys weren't as big as they are today. And I don't mean height-wise. I mean strength-wise. Right?
Yep.
And it was a down-low game, and defenses were allowed to pretty much do whatever they want. If you played when Michael played, you'd get your ass beat up so bad it would be ridiculous during a game.
I think it's interesting because you heard Brandon Jennings from the Detroit Pistons saying that LeBron gets all this hype, but he runs when things get tough. I mean, Jordan had a really tough stretch against those Boston Celtics teams and the Detroit Pistons before he even won an NBA championship. And those teams were very physical.
Yeah, I mean, back then, the NBA was a physical game. Today, it's not.
It was with men.
Yeah, you
boys.
can't hand check. You can't do nothing.
Yeah.
Back
It's like
then,
the NFL. You can't even give the person a high five.
Back then, you couldn't, back then, you could pretty much punch the guy in the gut and get away with it.
Yep.
Now you can't freaking do nothing. You know?
That's ridiculous. Skippy Bayless said that my New England Patriots, at the end of this Deflategate investigation, there will be nobody at fault.
Except the equipment guy who's going to get in trouble. Who will be fired quietly. They won't make a big deal out of it, and they'll pay him off.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm just saying, man, it's the third time already where this organization has been found with something shady with affecting the games or whatever. It's got to come to a point where either Robert Kraft or Bill Belichick has to pay either a fine or get suspended for their jobs.
Correct. But
it's ridiculous.
It's not. You know what? The equipment guy's going to take the fall. You know that.
Yeah.
You know that as well as I do. Those are some ugly pants you're wearing, Leslie Zarniak. Those are some ugly pants you're wearing. Just telling you right now. Those are some gross pants.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. All right, so let's run to the top of the hour break. You're listening to Josh Lopez and Jeff Escow on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back with Frank Sprankle.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Background while you people are listening to the commercials. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, and I did it again. Jeff Escow and Josh Lopez. I'll get it right. With you guys here every day for 2 hours each and every Monday through Friday. Now joining us in the second hour, normally on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but because the internet was down yesterday, we got him today on Friday. Our good friend, the Big Wind himself, Frank Sprankle, who, in fact, looks like Arthur Fonzarelli from Happy Days, all dressed up in his in his white shirt with his black leather jacket with his hair and his jeans and his black boots. Who are you, a Thunderbird from Greece?
Dude, I look like a teen honk.
Look like Thunderbird. Look like a Thunderbird from Greece. You know who you look like? You look like Kaniki.
Oh, God.
You look like Kaniki from Greece. Jeff Conaway?
By the way, listen, I got to show you. Do you know what I have? Do you know what I have always in my, and I showed Josh this. Do you know what I always have in my leather jacket at all times?
What's that, a knife or a lighter? Oh, your sunglasses. So now you wear your shades at dark time. Hey, what's up, Fonzie? Hey, he's giving us the thumbs up. He's got his camera on. I'm looking right at him. He looks pretty funny. Look at him.
Funny, dude. I look damn handsome.
You know what? You should take a picture of you like that. That should be your Skype picture. Look at him. Look at him. What's up, Arthur Fonzarelli?
Dude, what do you think? Dude, I wear my leather jacket constantly. I love this baby.
You look like Kaniki. That's what I'm gonna call you from now on, Kaniki.
Frank,
the big wind of Kaniki.
Wait a minute. You know what today is, don't you?
Yeah, it's Friday.
Yeah, but it is Freaky Friday. Since I am on Sports World Radio, since I'm on these airways today, that constitutes this Friday as being Freaky Frankie Friday.
Yeah,
hey, Jeff, look at what Dr. Mifflin in the chat room. Jeff, you can look at Frank without laughing your ass off.
I can't, man. It's hysterical. He looks like a Thunderbird.
I'm not saying, no one wants to dress like you unless they lose in a Inferno match. Dude, I look like I'm ready for an ECW match. Dude, I wore this. You know when I go to pro wrestling, I've been to pro wrestling events. I've been to many WWE events. This is what I wear.
Do you want to know something? This is the most fun I had looking at my computer in the last 3 weeks, looking at what I had to look at for the last 3 weeks because of Josh's stinking bet.
What do you think of my hair? Isn't it slicked back and all?
Yeah, you look like Arthur Fonzarelli with the hair, man.
Dude, wasn't Fonzie like a train? Let me ask you. Didn't the women all scream when he came on for the first time when he appeared on TV?
Dr. Myth.
You hear the studio crowd and they all scream for him in?
Dr. Myth, if you saw what I see on my other computer on Skype with Frank, you'd be laughing your ass off too.
Hey, Jeff, now we don't have to worry about any more bets. It's all cool now. So
Thank
we got all
God.
neutral pictures.
Thank God. I would rather look at Frank. I would rather look at you or what I'm looking at right now than what I had to look at for the last month and a half.
Wait, what'd you have to look at the last month and a half? Wait, what'd you have to look at the last month and a half? Something fat?
No, some of the other co-hosts' crap on Skype, Chicago Bulls crap I had to look at for a month and a half because he lost.
That boy, Josh. You know what? Chi-Town power all the way.
Hey, look at my Spreaker picture, Jeff. That's worse than the picture I had.
You know what? It's a damn shame. I'm not running for mayor of Chicago, and there's a mayoral race right now.
You should be running for mayor of Chicago.
Dude, then I'd be wearing this. Forget the shirt and tie. This is what I'd be wearing.
You should be mayor of Chicago, and then you can declare Sports World Radio Day.
Oh, dude, who would love to see Frank Sprankle for mayor of Chicago?
That's right. You could declare Sports World Radio Day, and you could fly me out there, or we could do the show live right there. Make sure it's in the middle of the summer.
Dude, you know I would invite Skippy out, too.
Make sure it's in the middle of the summer. Speaking of Skippy...
Yeah, let's get into some Skippy here.
Hey,
woohoo!
Speaking of Skippy...
How about Skippy the Wimpy?
Before we brought you on, we were doing some Skippy quotes, and he said something about that he could take on somebody. What was that quote there, Josh?
Yeah, Skip Bayless said, Frank, that he can win any debate, whether it's a sports debate or a presidential debate.
I have a question. Could Skippy Bayless beat me inside a steel cage?
I say no.
He put his sunglasses on.
Does anybody want to challenge me inside the steel cage?
Josh, you should see this guy, Josh. He put his sunglasses on.
Dude, wait. Myth is actually going 2-up. How about Frank for U.S. president?
He's got black sunglasses
35 over the next presidential election. Why not?
He's got black sunglasses on. He's sitting in his room with black sunglasses. I'm
surprised. In my office.
I'm surprised he hasn't turned out the light.
You should see his dog.
I don't need to see his dog. I got to look at that. That's bad enough.
You want to see the dog?
No, I don't want to see the dog. We're doing a show. I don't want to see the dog.
Hey, Frank, I want to get your opinion on some news that came out from the baseball world.
Yes.
It said that baseball commissioner Rob Manfred said that he would advise Hall of Fame voters to not surmise that certain players use performance-enhancing drugs unless there was credible evidence that proved that those players did use the PEDs.
What about Mark McGwire? The guy admitted to Bob Costas in a sit-down interview a few years back that he used steroids. And during the 1998 season, listen, if you admit or if you are known for having used PEDs, why in God's green earth are you on the ballot? Pete Rose should be reinstated because of this. It is an absolute disgrace that you have guys that have literally tainted the game through drug use, and yet Pete Rose is banned. You know what? It's time we either add another Cardinal sin or let Pete Rose back in baseball where he belongs, and to that effect, in the Hall of Fame.
Well, me and Jeff were talking about it when we started the show, and it's like, really, what does constitute being in the Hall of Fame anymore for any of these sports leagues, or even the WWE Hall of Fame? It's all about politics.
It don't mean crap anymore.
Hey, you know, Pete Rose isn't the WWE Hall of Fame.
I know, that's the only Hall of Fame he's ever going to be in, which is sad.
Yeah, that is sad. Pete Rose belongs in the Hall of Fame.
He does belong in the Hall of Fame.
Because of the accomplishments that took place before he admitted to betting on baseball.
Correct.
And he did admit to betting on baseball in 2004.
Correct. He should be in the Hall of Fame just for what he did on the field.
Yes, somebody is the all-time leading hitter in the history of Major League Baseball. That's Pete Rose. Pete Rose played baseball the way it should be today.
Uh-huh.
The problem is, you know what's? I gotta tell you what's bothering me about baseball, and we're taking away from tradition. It's hard to believe a game clock is being experimented on to speed the game. These players today should realize that you are a Major League Baseball player. You have talent that many wish they could have, myself included. You should go out there and play the way Pete Rose did, have the same enthusiasm as Ernie Banks, with definitely the passion and the passion of the players before you. That's just that bothers me. Baseball today, I love the game, but the players today are what makes the game bad at times.
You know what's sad though, Frank? Not just in sports, but in general, everybody's not worried. Everybody is paying attention on what happens outside the games instead of what's actually going on the field. It's like
Are you talking about terms of character at all, Matt?
Yeah, they're worried about off the field arrests or this.
Yeah, you know what? We live in an age of TMZ, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we live in an age, hey, it's worse than TMZ. I got to tell you, when people want to know more about their personal lives, and it's not just from the entertainment aspect of sports, it's musicians, it's those that are in Hollywood. How about the fact that we have social media, that we have handheld, that we have devices that operates as a phone, internet, and camera all in one? We can take pictures. We can be a journalist on the street.
I agree, buddy. Uh-oh. Look who's in the house, Jeff. It's
I see him.
Wes.
What's up, Wes? Howdy, Wes. Long
Jeez,
time.
all of a sudden, I come on with Freaky Frankie Friday, and listeners and participation goes up.
Oh, God.
Hey, Frank Sprankle brings the ratings.
Right? Oh,
that's why we love having you.
I guarantee you, I would do well in the WWE.
He also brings the big bag of wind.
Freaky Frank would be my name.
Frankie Friday.
But we mean it. Me and Jeff mean it. Frank, we love having you on the show, and you bring great insight to the show. We love having you on each time. Whether we're able to do the show that particular day or not, we're happy to have you on.
Okay, you know what?
Well, I love the both of you. I really do.
Hey, I got the basketball game on right now. Clippers and Toronto. Clippers are up 5-0. Game is over.
Is that the ESPN game tonight?
Yes.
Don't they have a second game after that?
Yes, they do.
Dude, why don't you? I got a good idea. Why don't you order NBA extra? Was it NBA League Pass?
Why?
Yeah.
Why do I have to spend money on the NBA League Pass when I can watch any game I want on the internet?
Hey, wait a minute. Didn't I give you a website that gives you all those games?
Yes, you did, Fonzie.
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did. Look at him with his black sunglasses on, hair greased back like grease lightning, his black leather jacket, his white T-shirt that they used to wear back in the day, his blue jeans and black freaking boots. He looks like a Thunderbird if I've ever seen one, man. He really does, doesn't he, Josh?
Whatever you do, Frank, sing any of the songs from that Grease Lightning soundtrack.
Grease Lightning. That was Come on, that was
sliding. So wait, that came out in 1978. Should I see the Frankie Valli Grease of the Word song?
That wasn't a bad movie, man. Come on.
Yeah, you know what? Grease was pretty. I'll tell you what. You know what really bombed? It was the second movie, Grease.
Yeah, Grease 2 bombed. He looks like Kinnicky. That's what he looks like, Kinnicky.
The Chris Farley.
Because you can't have.
Radio,
because you,
Frank
yeah.
Sprankle.
That's who he looks.
Chris Farley.
Do you
dude,
know
I don't
something?
Look anything like the late.
Do you
want
to know something, Josh?
Well, not size, but as far as like comedic.
Josh, if he had another 50 pounds, I'd say you're damn straight on the money with Chris Farley. That's who he looks like, Chris Farley.
Wait,
we got that 40th anniversary of SNL coming up next.
Yeah,
week.
he's the only one out of the three of us, besides me, that would understand what the look like was back then, because he was alive back then.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Frank? You're that old, right?
I was born in 1981.
Oh, so you don't. So I'm the only one then. Get that crap off, dude. 1981. 1981. He should have been born in the 50s.
Frank, I wanted to
right,
get
Frank?
your thoughts on tonight's Golden State Warriors-Hawks game. Who you got winning that game?
Well, I got to take Atlanta because the Atlanta Hawks definitely have the momentum, although the Golden State Warriors, who knows? Let me ask you guys this question. I'm taking Atlanta. I don't know about you. I want to hear what the both of you are taking in terms of this great matchup tonight. But could this be an NBA Finals preview?
I think it's a little bit too quick to assume that the Hawks are going to be in the NBA Finals. Do they have a chance to make the Eastern Conference Finals? Well, if you play in the East, anybody has a chance. So.
Except the Bulls these days. Josh, have you watched the Bulls lately? I watched the game on Wednesday night. Another state bomb.
I think they're going to pick it up in the second half.
Well, they better pick it up.
I wouldn't panic too soon.
And you know what? I think you're right. It's premature to panic. They're going through a rough phase. But one thing that impresses me about the Bulls the most, the one thing that will carry them will be the coaching of Tom Thibodeau. And Tom Thibodeau is the best coach in the NBA not to have won a title.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go with
the best coach in the NBA, but the best coach in the NBA not to have won a title. I got to give it to Greg Popovich when it comes to the best coach in the NBA.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Hawks, Frank. I think it's going to be a pretty good game, though.
Hard to believe we're talking about an Atlanta Hawks Golden State Warriors matchup.
How about
that? Marquee matchup of the night in the NBA. Isn't it odd, Jeff?
How? Let me ask you a question. I asked Josh this. Would you watch that finals matchup?
Yes, I would. I don't care who's in it. And let's not get the fact that you don't have these intriguing teams in the. All right, it doesn't have to be the Bulls Thunder or it has to be the Cavaliers Clippers. I would still watch it. Of course.
Shouldn't worry about rating.
These two teams rightfully earned the right having won 21 games before that, or having won, 12 games before that, going through 3 best-of-7s.
Right.
They're in the finals. I would watch it.
Right. Okay, let's run to the quarter-hour break. You're listening to Josh Lopez, Jeff Escow, and Frank Sprankle on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
Freaky Friday.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Stay fire safe this winter. Turn portable heaters off when you go to bed or leave the room. Keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet away. Plug portable heaters directly into wall outlets. Inspect and replace damaged cords, broken outlets, or loose connections. Use portable heaters with an automatic shutoff so that if they tip over, they turn off. Only use portable heaters approved by a recognized testing laboratory. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow New Way to Workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Josh Lopez, Jeff Escow, and the big win, Frank Sprankle, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. 6 o'clock on the east, 3 o'clock on the west, and if you live in the central,
5 o'clock.
I was closing my ears because I knew both of you guys were going to go at it.
Dude, you want to drop the gloves?
Both of you are in Chicago.
Dude, you want to do it?
Okay, what I want to know is, really quick, both of you guys are in Chicago right now. How far apart are you from each other?
I am by Chicago and Western. I'm right by the United Center.
Yeah, that's not too far from 1901 West Madison Street.
Yeah, just give out your address on freaking radio. That's smart.
Wait, I didn't give his address. I gave the United Center's address.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 1901 West Madison is the address of the
Okay, how
United
far-
Center. Look it up.
how
That's
far-
1901 West Madison is home of the Chicago Blackhawks and the Chicago Bulls.
Hey, shut up, Grease Lightning. How far do you live from the United Center, Frank?
I don't know. I live it's not too far, but then again, in terms of Josh and I, our distance, I don't know.
A half hour, 45 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, what?
Maybe about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Trust me, if I can get on the Rhine, I can be. Trust me, if I can get on the Rhine, the I-94, Bishop Ford, and the Rhine, I'm there in 20.
Okay, so you two schmucks are a half hour from each other, correct?
You could say a half hour, yes.
A half hour from each other, and you guys still haven't met?
Dude, I've been offering to meet him, yes.
Unstinking believe. What the hell's going on with you two schmigaggies?
That's Josh. That's Josh.
Today was the first time I actually saw him in person with the camera on.
I know, it's
I
ugly,
always
isn't
heard
it?
the big win through the audio.
I know, it's scary, isn't it, Josh?
It's the real thing looking at this picture here
Josh.
in the tap room.
Josh, he's got a face for radio, doesn't he?
Dude, face for radio. Dude, I got a face for Hollywood.
I'm looking at this freaking camera, too. He's got the sunglasses on. Look at him. He's all studded out over there. Do you dress your dog like that?
I don't know.
Frank, do you dress your dog like that?
Hey, Frank, I knew we weren't able to do the show yesterday. I knew you sent some great stories you wanted to talk about. What was the first one you wanted to talk about first?
Let's see. I'm trying to think what we could talk about. Well, why don't we stay? I do want to give props to Tom Brady for giving Malcolm Butler. Hey, what about the red Chevy truck that Tom Brady won as of him? And I don't know. Do you think Giselle drives pickup trucks?
Yes. No, she drives.
Giselle's dude. Wait, you're talking about a Brazilian supermodel that drives pickup trucks?
No, she has somebody drive the van for her.
Let me ask you, how many men would love to be Tom Brady right now?
I kind of think she's overrated, to be honest.
I don't know if I would want to be Tom Brady right now.
Think about it. You have now won your 4th Super Bowl. You make millions of dollars.
I don't know if I want to be Tom.
You're going to Disneyland, Disney World, Disney Universe, or God knows. Hey, what about the fact that you're married to a supermodel? One of the most famous and richest supermodels on earth.
Okay, now what about all the hassles that come with being Tom Brady?
Yeah, so wear all these rainbow flaggish outfits.
Whoa, dude.
Look like a douche. I don't know. That's not me.
Rainbowish outfits, dude. What do you think Tom Brady eats for breakfast? Lucky Charms?
I don't know, man, but he wears Hollister and Finch and
I
Ollie's
wouldn't
and
want
all
to
this
be
crap.
I would not want to be raising 2 kids right now and all. No, I'm sorry, no, not for me. Sorry, not for me. Can't do it. Won't do it.
Let me
Not
ask you,
gonna do
besides
it.
Frank Sprankle, what is the one man that the men in this country fantasize about outside of me?
Well, I number one, I don't fantasize about you whatsoever.
No,
yeah, exactly.
No, not fantasize. I mean, fantasize about being in that man's shoes.
There's really no man.
I'd rather be in my own shoes and carve my own path.
Correct. Why would I want to be like Skip Bayless? Really?
Oh, dude,
Come on.
You know what? Okay, let me ask you: how many men are going to want to be Jeff Escow when he goes head-to-head with Skip Bayless?
After I'm done with him, there's going to be a lot. See, that's the double-edged sword right there. Once you cripple Skip Bayless with all that I'm going to do, then I become famous, and now I have to deal with all of that.
You know
so
what?
It's a double-edged
Can we make
sword.
that the Super Bowl 50 halftime show at Santa Clara next year?
I don't know, but it's a double-edged sword. I'm telling you.
I think you would agree to shake hands, would you?
Well, I've declared war on Skip Bayless, and he has not accepted my my challenge. He's ducking me.
It sounds like you declared nuclear war on him.
He's ducking me.
Like the Rocket Mankind.
You want to know why he doesn't want to be nuked?
Jeff, you and Skip Bayless in a empty arena match.
Bring it. Because I don't need nobody around. See, he's the one that needs the people around. Because he lives for that, you know? I don't need nobody. I could beat him one-on-one with nobody else in the building. Just cameraman. And that's it.
Yeah, he needs producers giving him his
Correct.
his stats and stuff.
Correct. He needs people helping him. He needs all kinds of stuff. And he needs the crowd to egg him on. I don't need that. I can go at him without it.
Dude, like I said, you know what I'm bringing? I'm bringing the grill, brats, and beer.
I don't need nobody to egg me on.
Actually, no, pardon me. Check that. I'm bringing the grill, brats, and Bud Light.
Well, I'm grills, brats. Speaking of brats, I'm going to be making me some ribs for dinner tonight, man.
Sounds good, man.
Some nice
Hey, Frank,
ribs.
since we have you on the show, I don't want to do too much Chicago stuff, but do you think in maybe, I don't want to say next year, but in the next 5 to 10 years, maybe we'll have an era where the majority of the Chicago sports teams are winning championships?
Well, you got to understand, too, we're seeing the Blackhawks winning titles now. The Bulls, who knows about the Bulls? Possibly the baseball teams. I really think that the baseball teams hold the sword in terms of the future, the long-term future of winning championships. Now, if you're going to look at the United Center attendance, I think the talent is there for potentially 2 finals. It did happen across the street in 1992 with the Blackhawks and the Bulls making it to the finals, one coming victorious, the other losing. But I think if you're going to look at it from the short term, perhaps the Blackhawks and the Bulls, and I want to see what these baseball teams, the Cubs and the White Sox, are going to do down the road. I think short term, the United Center. Long term, the north and south sides of town. Josh, I've always said this. The one thing I want to see before I leave the surf, and I don't plan on leaving the surf anytime soon, but I want to see a Cubs-White Sox World Series. That is my ultimate sports dream.
That'd be Jeff's worst nightmare.
Your worst nightmare?
My worst nightmare.
How's that your worst nightmare? We've had 2 New York teams already go in your lifetime. 2 New York teams have played in the World Series. We remember the 1989 Bay Area series, of course, famously known for the day the ground shook, October 17th, 1989. We haven't had a Southern California freeway series between the Angels and Dodgers. How would a Cubs-White Sox series affect you? How would that bother you, Jeff?
Because I would probably never watch the World Series.
Did you watch the World Series? Did you watch the World Series? I know about the Royals, but did you watch it 2 years ago?
Who was it 2 years ago?
Oh, who was it? Yeah, it was the Red Sox and Cardinals. Remember the Red Sox beat the Cardinals?
Oh, yeah, I watched it to root against the Red Sox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because one certain person that used to be here was a Red Sox fan, but he's not here no more, so the Red Sox suck. How about
they
that?
did last year.
Well, yeah, and they're going to do it again this year. He's not going to be celebrating any more wins for the rest of the year, and I hope he's listening.
Wait a minute, hold on. Can we agree that Boston has been title town USA since over the last decade and a half?
Not really. When was the last time
it depends where you look at it. I mean, more than anybody, I think the Red Sox have been dominating this past decade more than the Patriots have.
Patriots won one Super Bowl in the last 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but hold on. Let's go back to 2001. 3 Super Bowls by the Patriots.
No.
World Series titles
Frank,
on the part.
Hold on a second. Now, Frank.
World Series titles on the part of the Red Sox.
I know, but Frank, now you're going back even further. You said 10 years. We went back 10 years. That was the first win Patriots had in 10 years.
You're right. It has been 2004, but I'm looking at it from a broader picture. Since 2001, now you have 4 Super Bowls on the part of the Patriots. 3 Red Sox World Series titles. 2, you have a Bruins Stanley Cup. You have a Celtics championship.
Yeah, but New England Patriots didn't win crap for 10 years.
No, and the 2 opportunities they had were at the expense of your New York Giants.
Thank you very much. But still, they didn't win crap. So how do people say they're a dynasty? Last 10 years, they haven't won crap.
No, I'm not saying they're a dynasty. No, they're missing the point. I'm saying Boston, Massachusetts has been title town USA.
I think eventually it'll be Chicago title town USA.
Hey, is New
England?
England?
We had New York had that era where they won a bunch of championships. We had, of course, California. And then we had Boston. I think it's time for Chicago.
Here's the thing, Josh, if we're going to talk about the Bears have such a great history, players and championships, and I know they've won 1 Super Bowl. They've won 9 NFL championships, including 1 Super Bowl. But the Bears don't have a rich Super Bowl history. They don't have the Super Bowl history of the Pittsburgh Steelers, the San Francisco 49ers, the New England Patriots, and even, Jeff, I'll be honest, your New York Giants. I mean, the Giants have a rich Super Bowl history.
It's been 30 years of frustration and disappointment, man.
It has been. I'll admit, it has been outside. And obviously the Bears have been in 1 Super Bowl since, and we know what happened in Super Bowl 41. The Bears do not have a rich history. And yes, I got to admit this too. The Green Bay Packers have a rich Super Bowl history.
All right, let's run to our final update of the day. This update is brought to you by the Flipper. If you guys are tired of touching your toilet seat, head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your flipper today and never, ever touch your toilet seat ever again. That's flipperflipper.com. Take it away, Josh Lopez, with the final update of the day.
Thank you, Jeff. Welcome to our second and last update here for Sports World Radio. Go to the NBA, some scores right now. We have the Brooklyn Nets taking out the Knicks. Brooklyn's up 23-12. Cleveland's up 31-27 in the first period against the Pacers. Almost at the wrap in the first period, we have Orlando up against Los Angeles 25-23. And also in the first period, we have the Los Angeles Clippers 25, the Toronto Raptors 10. Also tonight, we got the Golden State Warriors at the Atlanta Hawks. We have the Miami Heat at the San Antonio Spurs. Let's move to the NHL. 5 games tonight. First period, the New Jersey Devils are up 1-0 against the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's tied in the first period with the Anaheim Ducks and the Washington Capitals. First period, Columbus Blue Jackets up 1-0 against the St. Louis Blues. 2 games later on tonight, Chicago Blackhawks at the Winnipeg Jets and the Pittsburgh Penguins at the Calgary Flames. This has been your Sports World Radio update brought to you by the Flipper. Go to flipperflipper.com. We'll be right back with more Sports World Radio with Frank Sprankle, Jeff Eskow, and Josh Lopez. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, And sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense, they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean, I did it again. Jeff Escow, Josh Lopez, Frank Sprankle. Hey, listen, after 8 years of being with him, it'll come out of my system eventually.
Dude, who are you, Britney Spears? You did it again?
Yeah, I did it again, you rat bastard. Yeah, I did it again. Oops, I did it again. Big bag of wind is with us, Frank Sprankle, Josh Lopez, and myself, Jeff Escow. All right, boys, where do you want to go next?
Frank, I want to get.
I'm not going to Disneyland or Disney World. That's where I'm not a Super Bowl MVP, so I have nowhere to go, gentlemen.
Thank God.
We really didn't get a chance to fully get your thoughts on the Super Bowl and what will happen in the next year. I know it's early, but who do you say is in the Super Bowl 50?
Oh my goodness. It's hard to believe we're a few days removed from Super Bowl 49 and focusing on Super Bowl 50. I got to tell you what, if you're going to look at who's going to be in Super Bowl 50, why don't we take a look at from the standpoint of the AFC? Let's take a look at the winning conference here. Mm-hmm. The New England Patriots, you know what? They do have odds as long as you have Brady and Belichick on that team. The question is, what about the Denver Broncos? Peyton Manning, can he finally overcome the hoopla and win a second big one? Who knows? I really wasn't impressed with Peyton Manning last year, and you got a new head coach. I don't see Denver going there. What about the Indianapolis Colts? Do they take the next step at long last? I think Indianapolis, while it may not be next year, and it could be next year, I think the Indianapolis Colts are the one team that's on the rise in the NFL. As far as the NFC is concerned, Seattle, they're going to be very determined to get back. They are a young team. They have speed. They're not losing the speed quite yet. But that's one team that I would be reckoned with is the Seattle Seahawks. And Josh, we may be Bears fans here, but you got to be also questioning how pissed off are the Green Bay Packers after what happened to them in the NFC Championship game. Does losing that NFC Championship game in that fashion propel the Green Bay Packers to Santa Clara next year?
All I'll say is this. All respect due to Mike McCarthy and the work he's done over the past 10 years.
That's been great.
Green Bay. And he's dominated the NFC North, and it's embarrassing for us as Bears fans to be the Packers whipping boys over the last 10 years, to be perfectly honest with you.
You're listening at a pace.
I'm surprised that Mike McCarthy still has a job. I understand they won Super Bowl 3 years ago, but with that franchise, I think the organization wants the Packers to be like the New England Patriots and always be in contention. And I'm surprised Mike McCarthy still has a job.
Wait a minute. They're always – I understand where you're coming from, but aren't the Green Bay Packers in contention pretty much every year? Every single year they're in the playoffs.
I'm talking about the Super Bowl, though.
Yeah, well, the New England Patriots weren't in the Super Bowl last year or the year before. Should Bill Belichick have a job?
I mean, Andy Reid made the playoffs a bunch of times when he was in Philadelphia, but he never won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but the fact is the Philadelphia Eagles weren't really a quality team in his later years.
I don't know. I just think that Green Bay wants to be higher where they are right now. And
I think Mike McCarthy doesn't get a lot of credit because it's too centered on Aaron Rodgers. One thing about the Green Bay Packers is they've had great quarterbacks. they've also had some pretty darn good head coaches. And this goes beyond Vince Lombardi. Yeah, Vince Lombardi, everybody's going to know him as being the pinnacle of what an NFL head coach should be. Mm-hmm. But let's take a look at Mike Holmgren. He won a Super Bowl. Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl. Mike McCarthy typically has a game plan in place, and a successful one at that.
What's your thoughts about the new Hall of Fame class?
Unique Hall of Fame class. First of all, Jeff, I want to say that Junior Seau, I can imagine that many people in San Diego are very excited and upbeat that Junior Seau's going in.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts out here for that. It's kind of sad.
It's going to be very emotional.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that he's not around for it, but it's kind of nice to see it happen anyway.
Yeah, it's been almost 3 full years since, and definitely he's going to be missed in Canton. Jerome Bettis, what can you say about Jerome Bettis? Looking at his great years with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and not to mention, too, going out as a Super Bowl winner. Tim Brown, so many good years with the Raider organization. But what's really the pinnacle of this year's Hall of Fame class, how about 2 executives going in?
Yeah,
Ron Wolf, Bill Polian. I listen to Bill Polian on ESPN, like what he's doing, but take a look at what Bill Polian did with the Buffalo Bills. Got that organization to 4 straight Super Bowls. But guys, do you want to know what I think is the big legacy of Bill Polian? Even maybe outside the 4 Super Bowls. You know what it is?
Peyton Manning?
It's Peyton Manning, absolutely. Because I was talking with Nicholas about this earlier in the week. You take a look at the 1998 NFL Draft. Mm-hmm. And it was a matter of who were the Indianapolis Colts going to take with the number 1 draft pick. Was it going to be Peyton Manning? Was it going to be Ryan Leaf? You understand, Leaf had a cannonball arm coming out of college. And the fact of the matter is, if you take a look at the draft combine in 1998, Bill Polian was then the general manager of the Colts. It's more than just the physical workouts. It's also an interview process. You literally sit down with the head coach, with the general manager, with people of the football operations. You sit down and you have an interview. Bill Polian noticed white flags in Ryan Leaf's interview. Well, as opposed to Peyton Manning, he said, if you don't draft me, that's fine. But I'm going to, and he literally said this, guys. Peyton Manning said to Bill Polian and the Colts brass that if you don't draft me, I'm just going to kick your ass for the next 15 years. He literally said that. And sure enough, Peyton Manning was drafted number 1 by the Colts, was kicking ass in that division. Well, at first it was the AFC East, then it became the AFC South in 2002 when the Colts realigned in the AFC South, and they won a Super Bowl. They went to a number 1 a few years later. Now, think of the legacy here by drafting Peyton Manning in 1998. Just think about this. You don't have those winning seasons. You don't have the Super Bowl 41 victory, and we know Joshua came at the expense of the Chicago Bears. But what about the fact, too, that winning translates into success, financial success? A new stadium? Lucas Oil Stadium? I've been in that stadium. I've been on the field. If Peyton Manning is not drafted, you don't have Lucas Oil Stadium built. And you look at the Indianapolis Colts, well, the Colts, they may not even be in Indianapolis. We may not even be saying Indianapolis Colts today. Think about that.
Is there a general manager in the NFL that you think has the potential to be as good as Bill Polian was?
There are a number of good general managers. I'm hoping Adam Pace is one of them. It's really a tough one, but that's a great question right there, because if you take a look at general managers, they're vital when it comes to structuring your team. I think one guy that has potential is Ted Thompson, the Green Bay Packers general manager. And kind of strange we're talking about Ted Thompson, but take a look at Ron Wolf. Ron Wolf came to Green Bay in 1991. Ever since Ron Wolf, since his tenure, and since after he retired from the Green Bay Packers, this has been an organization that is, number 1, hired the right people. And number 2, to that effect, those right people have brought in the right players. And I think Ted Thompson is probably has an excellent chance. I mean, take a look at what the Green Bay Packers have done. They have only had 5 free agents on the roster last year, Josh. They build through the draft. And that all stems from the Ron Wolf tenure. What you're seeing with the Green Bay Packers, even 23 years after Ron Wolf was brought into Green Bay. 2 Super Bowl titles, including one 4 years ago as of late. It all stems from Ron Wolf coming in and resurrecting the Green Bay Packers. You can call it the Green Bay Packer Renaissance. So Ron Wolf, Bill Polian, unusual you would have 2 executives going in, much less one, but that's going to be interesting in itself.
Now, I know you mentioned earlier that you said that the Colts have the potential to trump the Patriots as far as the most powerhouse team in the AFC in the coming years. How about for the NFC?
That's a good question. Obviously, with the Seattle Seahawks now, they are still a youthful team. I don't think they're going to go anywhere. And I know we were talking about this in terms of a dynasty. Don't you have to win 3 Super Bowl titles in one particular decade? I'm not talking about 10 years. I'm talking about we're in the 2010s now. If the Seattle Seahawks are going to be a dynasty, they got to win 3 Super Bowls by the end of the decade.
Well, you know, people today, whatever you do recently is the greatest thing on earth. I mean, from an NFC championship game or a Super Bowl appearance,
right?
It's about what you're doing right now. They don't look at the big picture aspect as far as how that team plays over the past 5 or 10 years. So I don't think the Seahawks are a dynasty. Are they a great organization? Absolutely.
They got one great stadium. That's the loudest stadium. It's a toss-up. It's either that or Arrowhead. I think CenturyLink is louder than Arrowhead.
I think there's some other good potential teams, Jeff. Jeff and Frank, I think you got Arizona. I think they finally take that next step next year.
St. Louis, maybe?
Maybe St. Louis.
They can need a quality quarterback, though.
Yeah. You talked about Tampa Bay possibly in the next coming years.
2 years, Josh. Come 2016, I have a feeling Tampa Bay is going to be in the playoffs under Lovie Smith. Give him a couple of years, it will happen.
Also, I think I wouldn't say Philadelphia because there's something strange going on with the Eagles and Chip Kelly. It seems like Chip Kelly doesn't want to be there anymore. I wouldn't say Philadelphia is going to be one of those next big teams. Who knows? Maybe the Giants could be up there with the new offensive system. Eli Manning will be more adjust to it. You got Odell Beckham Jr. out there.
Cruz will be back.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Cruz will be back.
Victor Cruz. I mean, you got a couple of good receivers for Eli to throw to. The problem with Eli is he's got to minimize those interceptions. If he can minimize those interceptions, who knows? Maybe we'll be talking about the New York Giants winning that NFC East division and not the Dallas Cowboys.
You know what the problem is with the New York Giants? They got no freaking offensive line.
Yeah.
And that's where you got to look at the draft. You got to be young because you know what? I'm 33. I would be old for that position because you played the trenches.
Yep.
You can't handle that position physically after a certain age.
Yep. Hey, we got to
run. People give that
brutal.
Position a blind eye, though.
Yes. Hey, we got to run to our final break of the day. You're listening to Josh Lopez, Jeff Eska, and Frank Sprankle on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
Freaking Friday.
Someone I used to see, but she don't give a damn for me. But let me get to the point. Let's roll another joint. Turn the radio loud. I'm too alone to be proud. And you don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels to be me. People come, people go. Some grow young, some grow cold.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too. Don't wait until it's too late.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escott, Josh Lopez, Frank Sprankle, bringing you the final segment of today's show. We've been going for almost 2 hours now, like we do each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. So join us every day for live sports talk between Josh and myself. We go crazy. We have lots of fun. What's the final topic, boys?
Frank, pitchers and catchers be coming to Mesa, Arizona soon for.
Yeah, and I'm not
training.
reporting. That's a damn shame.
Yeah. I know you're excited for baseball, man. Just tell us a little bit about your excitement about the Cubs, and do you think this is a chance they finally make the playoffs?
I think, Josh, there's going to be a lot of improvement with the Chicago Cubs in terms of their overall record. Mm-hmm. I do believe the Chicago Cubs are near the destination. Now, in terms of getting to the playoffs, could it happen this year? I feel very confident it could. If not, they're going to be in the playoffs come the 2016 season, maybe the 2017 season. Look, if this team is not in the postseason by 2017, obviously there's something wrong. Winning the John Lester sweepstakes, that was huge. Mm-hmm. But let's also understand this too. I said this before the season came to an end. The Cubs need a veteran catcher. They need somebody to provide the spark at leadership on the field, and you do that by a veteran catcher, and that's what I hope Miguel Montero will provide. And also, you went after Dexter Flowers from the Houston Astros. You had to trade Luis Valbuena. I think that was a pretty good trade. The one thing that I do want to see here, and I know he's been in winter ball, but Javier Baez, great potential, needs to minimize the strikeouts. He is not going to look like Tony Gwynn when it comes to the strikeout numbers. Well, nobody looked like Tony Gwynn. Let's face it, strikeout ratio. But a key here for Javier Baez, 3 words, minimize the strikeouts.
I like the potential for the Cubs.
Frank.
There's a lot of good players there. I like what they're doing down there with their developmental system.
What about the manager? We can't forget about Joe Madden.
You think they got a shot? You think they got a shot at James Shields?
They got James Shields?
You think they have a shot at getting James Shields?
I think so.
I think so too. Go ahead, Josh.
Bonus, but I heard people say they're interested in Jordan Zimmerman from the Washington Nationals. I don't know about him. I would go with James Shields just based off his experience in the playoffs.
Geez, obviously my custom-made Cub jerseys. By the way, I have 2 custom-made Cub jerseys with 81 on the back.
That's cool.
Yeah, well, obviously that I'm not in consideration. I'm just kidding. Look, as far as Jordan Zimmerman or James Shields, how could you not want to come to Chicago? I mean, think about this. You got this young ball club in the field. You have John Lester. Oh, yeah, did I mention Joe Madden? The reason, Joe Madden, you couldn't ask for a better manager because this guy needs to lead the youngsters. The fact of the matter is, Josh, you have so many youngsters that need a certain kind of leadership. And Joe Mannon's not going to be a kick in the butt type of leader, but he is going to be a leader that's going to breed confidence and make these Cubs believe World Series. I'm going to tell you, when I saw at the Cubby Bear the press conference of Joe Maddon being hired, let me ask you this, Josh, and let me add to your recollection. When was the last time you heard a Cub manager being announced and named to the media in which he mentioned World Series? Seriously.
Lou Piniella?
Not really.
Or Dusty?
Well, Dusty had the
I'm
not the Messiah. My name is Dusty. I'm not the Messiah. But I'm talking about World Series. Joe Maddon has mentioned the words World Series. That's what the Cub organization needs. And that's what these players need to learn. They need to learn that it's okay to believe World Series because there are 30 ball clubs in the major leagues. And in the end, you only play for one purpose and one purpose only: to win the Fall Classic, to win in October, to win the World Series. And that's why Joe Maddon was brought in, because, Josh, I like Rick Renneria as a person, but I did not hear that urgency.
Yeah, we'll see what's going on out there in the South Side as well.
It should be an improved year.
We're coming off one of the greatest World Series I've seen in the past 5 years with the Royals and the Giants. Is there any chance those teams make it back to the World Series?
I don't know if they will. You got to understand, it's very difficult to repeat. I really don't think so. And if you take a look at the San Francisco Giants, this is a team that has won 3 World Series titles in the span of 5 seasons. It's very difficult to repeat. So based on the history, I'm going to have to say no, it isn't. And also there's that World Series high. I'm going to have to say no. I don't think the San Francisco Giants are going to repeat, much less get in the World Series. They may win the division. I think Los Angeles is going to give them fits. As far as the Kansas City Royals, they're going to be a team to watch. But the question is, the Cleveland Indians, they showed some promise toward the end of the season. How will they do? What about the White Sox? I don't think Detroit's going to factor in much. They lost some quality pitching. And Justin Verlander, the verdict's still out on him. He had a bad year last year.
Hey, did you know that they're going to be
good, but not for Verlander?
Did you know that they're going to use a 20-second clock in AAA and AA for the pitchers?
They're looking to experiment. Yeah, I know that. They're looking to experiment on it and bring it up to the major league level. It's just a shame, Jeff, that the players today, they don't play with the same type of enthusiasm that a generation or 2 or 3 ago did.
Did you know, and I didn't know this, that there's a rule in Major League Baseball that once the pitcher receives the ball from the catcher, he has 12 seconds to make his pitch?
That rule I don't know that rule. Seriously, because the Major League umpires are doing a piss poor job enforcing it.
Because really, I'm looking at it right now. Baseball rule states that pitchers must deliver the ball within 12 seconds after receiving it. But that has not been enforced. Why don't you start enforcing that rule? You want to see how fast the game speeds up? Enforce that rule. That one rule right there.
And if you don't deliver the pitch within 12 seconds, then guess what?
It's a ball.
It's a balk. Well, not only that, I honestly think that whoever's in the box should be awarded first base.
No, it's an automatic ball.
No, it's an automatic base on balls. You're awarded first base.
No, it shouldn't be that. No, it's an automatic. Whatever the count is, they add a ball to it. So if it's 3-2, well, guess what? The guy just got walked.
You have 12 seconds to make a decision. You can go directly to the plate, you can go over to one of the bags, or you can make a bluff move.
Right. You got 12 seconds. Now they're going to use a 20-second clock in AAA and AA in the minor league parks this year.
I think that's a good idea. Unfortunately, the beauty of baseball is, and one of the beauties of it, it's a game where there's no clock.
Well, they're going to start speeding this. They're going to start speeding it up, I'm telling you.
This game, the players, they don't have the same enthusiasm anymore.
They're going to start speeding this game up, which they should have done a long time ago.
Let me say this, too. Have you also noticed that ball players used to wear stirrups predominantly?
Yeah, you don't see
all
that.
All of them used to wear stirrups. You do have some that wear stirrups, but haven't you also noticed over the last 20 years, since stirrups went out of style on every ball player, how the game has become slower? I've noticed that.
Yeah, well, the game has become slower because people got to get out of the batter's box and do the rituals before they get back in.
If I were a ball player, I would be wearing stirrups, and there's a purpose as to why. Because I'm enthusiastic about this game, and I am about business. I'm about let's go, let's play ball. No time to be wasted here.
I could give it doesn't matter to me.
who's your rap bastards of the week? For
Oh,
me,
yes.
It's gonna be Roger Goodell for fining Doug Baldwin $11,000 for a touchdown celebration, while he only fines Rob Gronkowski $8,000 for punching somebody, and he wasn't even ejected.
Josh Gordon for me. How could you do this again?
Yeah, I'm going with Josh Gordon. I like that.
You got
one.
Josh Gordon?
Yeah. Going with Josh Gordon on that. And you know what? With that note, we got to get the flock out of here. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us. We had a lot of fun today. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back on Monday. Josh and I will be back on Monday for another week of 2-hour shows and sports action. Until then, my friends, remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable.
Amen. For
Frank Sprankle, Josh Lopez, I'm Jeff Escal. This has been Sports World Radio. Peace out, bitches.
See ya. Freaky Friday.
Hey, boys, Stimpy. We sure had fun today, didn't we? So long, kids. Come on, Stimpy, say goodbye.
Where are we going?
The show's